Hello students, this is Pallav Darbari, your host, and you are watching Pallav Darbari classes. In this video, we will discuss the fifth chapter of Business Studies class 12th, that is organizing. Let's see the topic that we will discuss in detail. We will discuss delegation of authority and we will discuss decentralization. Firstly, let us see the meaning of delegation of authority. It means the granting of authority to subordinates to operate within the prescribed limits. So what is delegation of authority? It means granting of authority, granting of power to the subordinates to operate within the prescribed limit is called delegation of authority. The manager who delegates authority holds his subordinate responsible for proper performance of the assigned task. To make sure that the subordinate perform all the works effectively and efficiently, the manager creates accountability. Accountability means answerable. Let us see the process of delegation of authority. This is the manager and this is the subordinate. The manager, just to reduce his burden, transfer the responsibility to the subordinate. Along with the responsibility, the manager also transfer the power according to the responsibility to the subordinate, so the subordinate can execute the responsibilities properly. The manager also want that the subordinate should do the work properly as being encoded him to do. So the manager wants that the subordinate should be accountable. But remember one thing, this manager will always be accountable to the higher authority. The subordinate will be accountable to the manager. Why the manager wants that the subordinate should be accountable? So that he should carry out the responsibility as being intimated him to do. So this subordinate will be accountable to the manager. And the manager will always be accountable to the higher authority. The higher authority will not see that the manager has subordinated or delegated the work to other person. For the higher authority, the manager will always be accountable. Clear? Let us see the elements in the delegation of authority. In the delegation of authority, there are three elements. Number one, accountability. Accountability means power to take decisions in order to guide the activities of the other. Authority is that power which influence the conduct of others. The second element is responsibility. It means obligation to perform the work or the duties that the subordinate is supposed to perform. The next and the last one is accountability. When the superior assigns some work to the subordinate, he is answerable to his superior for his success or failure. Why the accountability is being created? Earlier we have seen that the manager has delegated the work to the subordinate and the subordinate is accountable. The subordinate is answerable. Why the accountability is there? So that the subordinate should carry out the responsibility clearly as being guided him to do. Let us see all the elements in detail. The first element is authority. Authority refers to the power given to an individual to command and direct the subordinates and take various decisions. In a formal organization, the scalar chain gives rise to authority. Scalar chain means chain of communication. So the scalar chain, formal line of communication, gives rise to authority. It is a downward flowing channel. Authority is always downward flowing. When I say downward, what it means that the superior commands over the subordinates. Superior to subordinate. It means downward direction. The scope of authority delegated depends upon the rules and regulations of the organization. How much authority should be delegated? It totally depends upon the rules and regulations of the organization. Let us see the second element, that is responsibility. Responsibility refers to the adherence of the subordinate to complete the given task and his or her answerability. Responsibility means what? It means obligation to perform the given task as being asked him to do. Once a duty has been assigned to the subordinate, it is his responsibility to perform and complete the task. Responsibility arises out of superior subordinate relationship, and it is always upward channel. What it means? It means subordinate to superior. So it is upward channel. Responsibility must be accomplished by a fair degree of authority. Remember one thing, responsibility should be carried out with a equal percentage of authority. And there should be a proper combination of authority and responsibility. It means authority should be according to the responsibility, or responsibility should be according to authority. Next element is accountability. Accountability refers to the answerability of the superior for the final outcome of the work he has been assigned. Though the superior delegate the work to a subordinate, he will continue to be responsible for the final outcome. As the superior is accountable for the final outcome of a task, he undertakes regular supervision and collects feedback to ensure that the subordinate perform the task properly. We know that the superior will always be answerable to the higher authority because higher authority has assigned the work to the superior and the superior has delegated the work to the subordinate. For the higher authority, subordinate will not be accountable. The superior will only be accountable. And this subordinate will only be accountable to the superior. Since, as I told you, superior will always be accountable, so he want to be sure, he want to be confirmed that the work is according to the instructions. So the superior is keep on monitoring and collecting the feedback from the subordinates. Accountability arises out of responsibility. We know that the account, wherever we are having the responsibility, the accountability will pop up immediately. Let us see the difference between authority, responsibility and accountability. Firstly, check on the basis of meaning. Authority means right to command. It means power to give order. Responsibility means obligation to perform the assigned task. Accountability, it is the outcome for the assigned task. Next is origin. Accountability arises from formal position. It arises from formal position. And responsibility arises from delegated authority. And accountability arises from responsibility. So accountability is from responsibility. Flow. Authority is downward, that is from superior to subordinate. Responsibility is upward, that is from subordinate to superior. And accountability is also upward, subordinate to superior. Let us see the withdrawal. Authority can be withdrawn at any time by giving notice. Responsibility cannot be withdrawn unless until the work is completed or assigned task is completed. Accountability, it also cannot be withdrawn once created. So responsibility and the accountability cannot be withdrawn once created. Let us see the very important thing, principle of absoluteness of accountability. Absoluteness of the accountability means what? It means that we know that the authority can be delegated. It can be transferred. Responsibility can also be transferred, but accountability cannot be transferred. We have seen in the diagram earlier that, or the picture earlier, that the manager has delegated the power to the subordinate. Responsibility is also being given to him, but the manager will always be accountable, will always be answerable to the higher authority for the responsibility assigned to him by the higher authority. Let us see what is being written. Authority can be delegated, but responsibility and accountability cannot be delegated by a manager. The authority granted to the subordinate can be taken back and redelegated to other person. The manager cannot escape from the responsibility for any fault or any mistake on the part of his subordinates. For example, if the chief executive asks marketing manager to achieve a sale target of sale 100 unit per day, how much target? 100 unit per month. The marketing manager delegated to the deputy sales manager, and the deputy sales manager suppose failed to achieve the target. Then the marketing manager will not escape from the answerability. The marketing manager will be answerable to the chief executive why the target is not being achieved. Thus, accountability is always of the person who delegated authority. Let us discuss the importance of delegation of authority. First is managerial efficiency. Because of delegation of authority, the managers now focus in the specific work, so the efficiency of the manager increases. Employees proficiency. Because of the delegation of the authority, the employee will come to know the work of higher level. Motivation. The delegation of authority also motivate the employees. When the work is being delegated to the employees get motivated. Why? Because he feels that the higher authority rely on him, and he also knows that now he will learn to do the higher authority work, and his chances of promotion will definitely increase. Next is growth. With the delegation of the authority, the employees become fluent. They know how the work should be executed, so the wastage get minimized. The morale of the employees are always high, so the chances of growth increases. Next is hierarchy structure. The superior subordinate relationship will be restored, will become stronger. Next is coordination. Because of delegation, the person learns to coordinate with the other department. Let us discuss all the importance in detail. The first is managerial efficiency. By delegating work to the subordinate, the manager can concentrate on priority areas. Now the manager can concentrate on core issues and also venture into new areas. If they want to jump in another area, if they want to open another business unit, they can open it because they are free right now. Next is employees proficiency. As the subordinates are entrusted with the responsibility of completing a task, they get an opportunity to prove his ability and apply their skill. Because of applying the skill of thinking to find out the best solution, the proficiency increases. The next is motivation. Delegation provides the employees with psychological benefit. I am a part of the organization. Employee rely on me. So all the time he is being motivated. Next is growth. Delegation helps the preparation of efficient and experienced manager who can take up leading position during the growth phase of the organization. This facilitates growth business. Next is hierarchical structure. The delegation forms the basis of the hierarchical structure of the organization. It decides the reporting relationship and determines who has to report to whom. Next is coordination. By clearly defining the working relationships, delegation minimizes overlapping of work, thereby improves coordination and efficiency of the organization. Let us discuss decentralization. Decentralization refers to the disposal of decision making power among the middle level and the lower level manager. The extent of decentralization varies from one organization to another. How much decentralization should be implemented, it totally depends upon the organization to organization. This is a very important topic, that is decentralization and extension of delegation. Both decentralization and delegation relates to downward delegation of authority and responsibility. In the case of delegation, the authority is shared between the superior and the immediate subordinates. Superior and immediate subordinate. Whereas in the case of decentralization, the concept is extended further. The authority is distributed to multiple levels. In a very simple word, we can say that when the sharing of power and authority is between two people, it is called delegation. And when the sharing of power and authority is within the organization, in every part of the organization, in the entire organization, it is called decentralization. Let us discuss the importance of decentralization. The first importance is initiative. Second is managerial competence, then control, then active decision making, then growth becomes easy, then reduces the workload of the top manager. Discuss all the importance. The first is initiative. Decentralization gives some freedom to the lower level managers. The lower level managers are free and imparts them to a higher degree of autonomy to take initiatives. Now they can take decisions. In the process, the lower level manager faces new challenges and finds solution to the problems themselves. So the point is clear: initiative. It means they are free, so they find out the new ways to solve the problems, so they are coming with the new solutions. Next is managerial competence. The delegation of authority to the lower level manager improves their opportunity and provide them opportunity to gain experience and thereby develop the skills and knowledge to face new challenges. So delegation do what? Delegation of authority to the lower level manager develops the skills and develop their knowledge and make them competent to face new challenges. Next is control. Delegation assist in analyzing and evaluating the performance of each department separately, because of which the overall objectives of the organization can be easily evaluated. Next is active decision making. Since the authority to make decisions is passed on to a lower level of the management, so the decision can be quickly taken. Next is growth. Decentralization calls for higher authority to the lower level managers. This helps them develop their competence and gain experience, and this is helpful for at the time of growth and expansion of business. Next is reduced overload of top manager. Through delegation, the top level manager is free. They have shifted their work to the subordinates, so they can now concentrate to the higher priority areas. Let us discuss the difference between the delegation and decentralization. It is very important. See, on the basis of nature, it is a compulsory act, whereas decentralization, it is an optional policy. On the basis of the freedom, just see, delegation or less freedom to take decisions due to more control by the superior. Here, more freedom of action. Next is status. In the case of delegation, it is a process of sharing task and authority, whereas decentralization, it is a result of policy decision taken by the top management. On the basis of scope, let us see, narrow, as it is consigned to the superior and his immediate subordinate. In the case of decentralization, the scope is wide, as it is extended to all level of the management. Let us see the purpose. The purpose of delegation is to reduce the burden of manager, whereas the purpose of decentralization is to increase the role and the autonomy of lower level of the management. That's all we have in this video. Thanks for watching. God bless you all.